Taurus, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm also new here to YouTube, so I would greatly appreciate the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. I would love to have you as part of the family here at Happy You Tarot. Taurus, what I want to do is do a prediction reading for 2024, looking at the first half of the year. So from January to June, we're going to take a look at the energy surrounding the first half of the new year. Okay. We're also going to look at your money, so the energy around money, career, finance, as well as romantic love partnership. I'm going to be looking at the energy for those Tauruses who are single, as well as the Tauruses who are partnered. Okay, so once again, this message is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, so let's jump in. Taurus, I pulled an overall message for you, and it's the same message for Earth signs. And it says, love and intimacy flow into my life effortlessly. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And what I'm feeling is that there's going to be an emphasis, and I took some notes, but there's going to be an emphasis on you trusting and loving yourself a little bit more deeply. Okay, connecting to those parts of you that you may feel ashamed of, those parts of you that need the most self-care and love, but up until this point has been a little bit difficult, it has been challenging for you to tap into. Okay, I'm feeling many of you have gone through maybe some traumas or childhood traumas, and so there's some things coming up, and maybe in 2023 or years before, but there's an emphasis in 2024 on you not being able to suppress that any longer and hide it. And then for many of you, you may already be doing a lot of self-work, healing, emotional and spiritual work, which is awesome. And there's going to be more of an emphasis around that in 2024 is what I'm feeling. Okay, I was also picking up in your energy that your overall energy you have is the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles talks about legacy. So there's also going to be an emphasis on you looking at, many of you are understanding that a lot of what you may see as things that you may be have experienced as traumas are like you're seeing it as toxic generational patterns, right? And a lot of you are wanting to heal from that, wanting to shift that for the next generation, to come. And so you're just wanting to clear some of that, which I think is amazing. Okay, I think that is so important as we start to work on ourselves, right? We want to, bring our awareness, make our awareness more keen as it relates to understanding what it is that we need to heal, and then doing the work to do that. Okay, excuse me. All right, so we're going to look at that, Taurus. So like I said, the overall energy talks about the Ten of Pentacles, which could be about family, okay, and how you fit in that dynamic and things you've learned from, family dynamics, good or bad, right? And how you can just be, how you can change some of that, because that's what the energy is about. Maybe you looking at that and just seeing the some toxic patterns and wanting to break free of that. Okay, so let's see what we have. So for January, you have the King of Swords. So this month, Taurus, is going to be all about you being very logical, very practical, and also I think for many of you, you may be making those, just making a decision, being very matter of fact, right? Head over heart. Like I said, no longer wanting to suppress and sweep under the rug, right? If it's old toxic patterns, personal or things that you've seen through that have been passed down through family, through generations, you want to see that clearly for what it is, and put a stop to it. So you're being very logical, okay, in the month of January. And I like that air energy. So Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, that may be significant to you. But there's just an emphasis on being logical and practical, right? Making those, like I said, head over heart decisions in the month of January, in this month. Okay, and then for February, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles, Earth energy. And the Queen of Pentacles is all about being ambitious. The Queen of Pentacles is about growth and stability, right? And if things are growing, you want them to be stable so that they can grow, continue to grow, right, and be fruitful. So there's going to be an emphasis in February around that. How that can relate to you, stepping into those intimate parts of yourself and clearing some of that generational trauma is just that. You understanding that in order for you to grow, right, and to have your family legacy be what you would like for it to see, whether that's to pass down if you have children or even if you don't yet, you just see the importance of breaking those cycles so that there's just new energy, better energy, right? More higher vibrational energy, and it's growing, and it's and you're being very intentional, right? And with that, with this Queen of Pentacles. All right. So then in March, you have the Four of Wands. Okay. So I love that. That energy is more about bringing things together. It's stable, right? It could also talk about the family structure. Many of you may be in a relationship or a marriage or wanting to do that, and you're not wanting to bring, maybe things that you've learned that were toxic. What am I trying to say? Old patterns of doing things or learned behaviors. That's the word I'm looking for. So, and you want to change that. And I think that's really good. You want to bring things together, make them firm, make the foundation stronger. So in March, there's going to be an emphasis around unity, building, and even in the month in February as well with the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, being very logical because there's something that you have in mind that you're very focused on and you want it to grow, but you understand that it must be stable and you must pour the right energy into it through clearing some of this trauma, and as you're doing that, you're getting more in touch and more in tune with parts of yourself, the intimate parts of yourself. All right, so January, February, March, and then in April, you have the Five of Pentacles, okay? So the Five of Pentacles can talk about, leaving things out in the cold, right? Walking away from them. The card mentions poverty, but what I'm feeling for you is that you're just looking at, because you're wanting to create solid foundations and a legacy of that with this Ten of Pentacles, you're cutting out anything that might be toxic, right? You're cutting and shutting the door, closing cycles, closing chapters in your life that are unhealthy for you. So that's your energy in the month of March. And then in April, you have the Magician card, which talks about skills, right? So in April, you're going to be tapping into all of your skills, right? The Magician is using all of the elements, right, to work with, to help you to bring things into fruition. So April is going to be about, if at the beginning of the year, in this month, right, January, you're looking at things through logic and being very practical, then by April, you're really putting all those skills into work. For some of you, that's maybe going to therapy or having those conversations with family, or getting your children, if you have children, on the same page, and just being very intentional about how your unique family structure is going to look. Bringing it back to you, it just might be, you're asking yourself those tough questions. What do I need to do to heal myself? What do I need to look at, those shadow parts of myself? But it looks like you're going to be putting those things into action, okay, in the month of April. And then in June, you have the Seven of Wands, which talks about being brave. Seven of Wands is also, I like to say, That's my card of setting those healthy boundaries. Okay, so this reading already looks really good for you, Taurus. So you're setting healthy boundaries as it relates to self-care, self-love, right? And understanding how that's a ripple effect, right? That's going to affect in a positive way those around you. Okay, and it could definitely be talking about family. Okay, with this Ten of Pentacles being your overall energy. All right, so it looks very good, Taurus. So in June I'll come back and we'll look at from June to December, and then tap in to see the rest of the year for you. All right, so next I want to look at money and see the energy around your money and your finances for 2024. Spirit, what's the energy for Taurus as it relates to money and the growth of finances, investments? All right. So the first card you have the Watch card energy. Okay, and the Watch card is all about seizing the moment. Okay, so you may be coming out of a waiting period where with that we saw that King of Swords. So just, planning and, being logical and taking an assessment of things. It could be your finances. And now where maybe you were in like a blueprint phase, but now you're actually putting it into action. Okay. And if you're not, then this is just spirit pushing you, saying that, giving you the confirmation that it's go time, right? It's time for you to put those things into action. It also talks about things working in divine timing, okay? Because timing, the Watch card. So things working in divine timing, and making a profit, right? So profiting from those things where you have put the thought and intention into, and now putting them into action, right? And we saw that with your overall energy with the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, right? Stabilizing, putting things into action for growth and setting that intention, okay? And with that Magician energy, putting those skills into action and putting everything, putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, right, so to speak. You also have the Tower card energy, okay, and that talks about building a business. So some of you may be going into business for yourself, making those sound decisions again, and we saw that once again with that King of Swords energy. Some of you may be then you may have an elevation in the workplace. It talks about maybe getting a promotion or working in the corporate sector. Some of you may also be in a position where, for some of you, take it how it resonates, where you're not sure about your position. So the Tower could also speak of changes, right? So you're thinking about making a decision to change, right? To change a job, looking at future of, investments and finances and money, and what's that change, how that will benefit you in the long run, okay? The Anchor card energy is your last energy, and that talks about, this card is more like a warning card. So I would just say Spirit is reminding you to make sound decisions in 2024 as it relates to your money, saving, and not I would say bringing your awareness to your money mindset, okay? Emphasis on that, because it talks about feelings of being stuck, financially stuck, burdened, or money blockages. But I always say that that's about perception and how you see money, what do you feel about money, right? So bringing your awareness to that. What are my thoughts about money? Am I always saying, what am I saying to myself about my finances, right? Because, You know, we manifest through our thoughts. So just bringing an awareness to that. All right. So overall, it looks good. So money mindset, bringing awareness to what you're thinking about money. And if even if you're looking at it right through a practical lens, right, with the king, once again with that King of Swords, but see it for what it is, and then take action. What can I do differently? Okay. Tower card, it may be some changes, and they may be changes as it relates to a different career path. I see that for you. And what was the last one? We had the Watch card. So seizing the moment, right? Getting out of a stagnant period of waiting and actually jumping in and, kind of taking action on the things that you've been setting in intention for, right? Putting things to work, right? So that looks good for you, Taurus. Let's see. We're going to look at the love portion of the reading. And this is going to be the first couple. The energy is going to be for my single Tauruses. So what is the energy, Spirit? All right, you have the Lover's card. And then let's pull a few more cards around that. All right. So for the Tauruses who are single, I'm feeling two things. The first thing with this Lover's card, many of you may find yourself in a connection, right? Remember, your card was all about love and intimacy, and bringing more of that into your life and how that flows into your life effortlessly. So many of you may be meeting, it talks about meeting a soulmate, someone that you're compatible with, feeling like you sit in alignment, you complement each other. Okay. I'm also feeling too, because remember there was an emphasis on self-love and self-care. The Lover's card could also talk about you coming into union with parts of yourself, right? Loving and pouring into yourself. So I love that as well. You have the date card. So once again, next to that Lover's card, this could definitely be you getting out there, meeting someone new, going on a date. So that looks good, looks promising. The next energy you have the healing heart. All right, which talks about healing from any toxic relationships. And remember, the overall energy, I was feeling that emphasis on, healing trauma, right? Doing some self-work, some shadow work, bringing your awareness into those parts of yourself that need the most self-care, pouring into you. And so we see that as well. The Cupid's arrow talks about having faith that love is coming, surprise invitation. So you may be going out, traveling, meeting people. That looks good. And overall, for singles, whether you are coming into union with someone or coming into union with those parts of you, just remember, above all else, self-care, self-love first, right? Make sure you are pouring into you, and so that when that special someone comes, there's just you have an overflowing cup. Your cup overflows, so that you're not taking anything away from them and they're not taking anything away from you, but you're just you're able to pour into each other from an overflowing cup. Okay, so it looks really good. So that was for my single Tauruses, and now we're going to move into, last but not least, but the Tauruses who are already partnered and the energy around that. All right, so let's see. All right, so you have the Devil card energy. All right, and the Devil card can speak of toxic habits, negative thinking, self-sabotage, making poor decisions. So let's see, we'll just say if so, right? And we saw that loving yourself more. So we'll see how that works. We're not going to look down on the energy. It's not going to be a heavy reading. I think that's just a reminder, if anything, to tap into those parts of you, like I said in the beginning, that need the most care and most love, okay? So let's see, Spirit, what about my Tauruses that are partnered? What do they need to know? Be aware of. Okay. Okay, one more. All right. So what I'm feeling is that it's for those of you that are in a relationship, Taurus, it's going to be an emphasis on you taking an assessment as to where you are in your current relationship. Okay. The first card is the wedding card, wedding rings. Okay. So for some of you, you may be your relationship may be stepping into a higher level of commitment. You and your partner may be talking about marriage, or there's, energy. It could also just talk about you just connecting with one another. You're having more deep and intimate conversations on strengthening the relationship, right? With that intimacy card, we also saw the Four of Wands, which talks about stability and growth and stabilizing, right? So that looks really good. There's also, you have the second energy is the heartbroken energy, okay? And so like I said, I'm feeling some of you may be taking an assessment, kind of looking and observing your relationship, and really making some harsh decisions. Where do I see myself in this relationship? Where do I see it? Remember, we had the Ten of Pentacles talking about longevity and legacy. So some of you may be looking at separation, okay? Separating from your partner. Understanding that with this love and intimacy flowing into my life effortlessly, and tapping into those parts of you, once again, that need the most self-care, right? And you're bringing your awareness and pouring more into you. You may find yourself in 2024 walking away from partnerships, whether it be friends, or right now we're talking about relationships, or just people who are really close to you, walking away from things that no longer serve you, okay? Because you are doing the self-work and the healing work. The last energy, we have the Coffin card, and it talks about things coming to an end, okay? But it's also reminding you that endings bring new beginnings, okay? So if you have to separate, break up, divorce, just know that if there's an ending, right, there's a chapter closing, there's also a new cycle opening up for you, okay? So stay positive and stay optimistic about it. And take strength and courage in that, I would say as well, because when sometimes we have to make those decisions to choose ourselves, right? But self-love, I feel, is the best love. So you definitely want to be in healthy partnerships, right, with others. And if that's not present, make a decision to set yourself free. You deserve that, okay? So that's what I see for the Tauruses that are partnered. And for those of you who may find yourself, in conflict with your partner, if it's worth salvaging and you can sit down and communicate, or seek maybe counseling, couples counseling or something like that, do that as well, okay? Because you also have the card of union and marriage. So, but you take that how it resonates for you, all right? So, because remember that your 2024 is going to be about making decisions that are going to affect you, your legacy, longevity, right? Future from here to whenever, okay? So that was your reading, Taurus. And if you want, more content, there's more where that came from, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to get any feedback, because like I said, I'm new here to YouTube, but I'm very happy that you decided to watch this video to its entirety, and I will see you next time. Peace, love, and light.